Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the F&G show.
The F&G show.
And this is episode 5, which went kind of quick. If you recall, 5 is when we found out we're watching them.
Them, yes.
And,
if you didn't know.
Right. And episode 5 was when we found out what happened to the little kid.
The baby boy.
Yeah, the baby boy.
Finally told us the story about the baby boy.
Yeah, but I mean, that's pretty much what this episode was about.
I'm not happy.
Cat in the bag.
I'm
Cat
not
in the bag.
happy.
Cat in the bag. Oh, man.
I don't know what you mean by that. Maybe they don't, but they killed the baby. The white people killed the baby.
Cat in the hat.
No, cat in the bag.
Yeah, cat in the bag.
They killed the baby. I was not happy. And now I understand why the woman is half crazy. Well, she's not. She's been suffering from post-traumatic slave syndrome ever since then. And the kids are now suffering from it. The husband is suffering from it. So everybody's suffering from post-traumatic slave syndrome.
Well, they ain't slave syndrome because they had nothing to do with slavery. They was
you missing.
They had PTSD from that incident.
Well, that incident, but you know, from the other historical analysis and medical analysis that I've done, is that the impact of slavery is basically the trauma of slavery is passed down from generation to generation. So we all have some form of post-traumatic slave syndrome.
I don't believe
according to the research.
Again, that's Frank's analysis.
No, that's analysis proven by a researcher, y'all.
I don't believe that, because if that's the fact, then there'll be more of us in jail and dead than
I don't think that was
making moves.
Well, I don't think that's the purpose of the book. It was just giving some.
I ain't talking about the book. I'm talking about you using that term for what they went through in the movie.
Well, that's what it looks like to me. I mean, they are suffering post-traumatic stress disorder, yes. But I'm linking it all the way back to.
But you don't have to go back to that, because what happened, their baby was killed.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's pretty much just it. It don't got to go no further than that.
But we can't ignore that the white people killed the baby.
Yeah, but that had nothing to do with slavery.
No, they don't.
It had something to do with those white people that killed their baby and the way that it was killed.
Now, you see, this is the first time y'all have ever seen us disagree, huh? But we do disagree.
Well, that's pretty much what this episode was about.
Yeah.
Quick and short to the point. They what they do anything else about? Let's see. Oh,
we're not going to tell them how they killed the baby?
Oh, yeah, you go ahead and tell them. I kept saying cat in the hat, but no.
Cat in the bag. Well, basically, they put the woman put the baby in the bag, and then they raped her.
Pillowcase.
Pillowcase, yeah. Put it in a pillowcase. Raped the mother. Her 2 sons raped her mother. One of them, I think, did. And then they tossed the baby around like a basketball and killed him. Inside the bag.
Then at the end, she was spinning around.
She's spinning them around.
Kept saying, cat in the bag, cat in the bag.
So if you're sensitive about these things, you probably will be very mad watching the series Them.
Yes.
But it's trying to teach us a message. I think it's trying to teach us a message. So there's a message that's being had here in this whole series.
Leads me to believe that there was a game called Cat in the Bag, but instead of a cat, they had a baby in the bag.
Right.
I have to look that up a little further. If anybody else know about it, you could chime in.
That's a good historical analysis to try to look that up. I mean, there's another historical point about they used to take black babies and feed them to alligators as alligator bait in slavery. So if y'all didn't know that, that's another tidbit. But the part that got me, was the redlining, and
that's right. That was in this.
When the blacks were moving into California, South Central?
Yeah, Compton.
Compton, yeah, Compton. All the real estate agents were making a killing off of them. They would sell the houses. White people would try to sell the houses. And then when blacks started getting out of Vietnam War, whatever, they would jack the price up so high what is it? Interest rate back then was they were charging blacks 20%, right?
I believe it was.
And
a whole lot more than what they was charging.
They were paying 4 or 5 times more than what the house worth, and white people were only paying maybe 5%. So they were raking us over the coals. And then I asked them a question. I said, "Wait a minute, do you think they did that to us when we bought our houses today? Because I don't know if they still. I'm not too sure that they still ain't trying to. They don't do that to us today.
Well,
in some areas, because they still use redlining. Redlining still goes on.
Yeah, I believe that because I could tell you a story about that a little later on, about one of the credit unions I was with, and I believe that they use that kind of stuff. But nevertheless, that's what this episode was about. They told us the backstory about how they did a lot of redlining. They had the different colors of safe. What was going bad and what was already bad. They had different colors, and so they knew where the people was. So the way they figured was, let the black people move in. We'll jack the price up. One way, I said one thing or another. They either get the money for it and they win, or the black folks will default. They kick them out and then resell the house again
to another black person and let them come. But but the other part that kind of got me was this the first one? Was the white lady that was
with the cop
with her husband? Was that this first episode she found out about the money, or this episode?
That's the last episode.
Oh well, what was she in the first one that we just looked?
We didn't. This episode didn't have her. This episode just talked about
the baby,
and then the red line, and they had the lady that sold.
Yeah, that's who I'm talking about. Yeah,
selling black people the houses. And what it was, they had a white cop that they were
paying under the table
to make sure the white folks didn't run them out of the town,
right?
To keep things civil. But then she really felt bad about it. But the cop was like, "Nah, you in this for the long haul.
For the long haul, you in here with us. If we go down, you going down."
So we'll see where that goes. So that's pretty much that episode. We're gonna get on to the next episode, see what happened. You got any final words on this?
No, just be careful what neighborhood you move in, and then always carry a gun.
Do your research. Well, that's it from the F&G Show. This is them, episode 5. We'll be moving on to episode 6 next. We'll see you next time.
Yes.
We're out.
We're out.